Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea on a jobs day. This could be a 40-minute single best idea all through the show. And what we do is during the show, the team that I have, which is depleted by 3 interns, they all went back to school, but the team that I have, we go back and forth, like do this person, do this one or that. And we sort of knew on jobs day where we were heading. But even with that, there could have been 5, 6, 7, 8 conversations, moments across Bloomberg Surveillance today that were just extraordinary. Major shout out to Jeffrey Yu of BNY, who got us started strong on the international effect of this American debate on our labor economy and what our central bank will do. That's how we frame it. Mark Zandi will join us, optimistic. Claudia Sahm will join us, without question the most influential economist of the year. But first, Neil Dutta. Neil Dutta will join us. And he was on before the report saying, let's go, let's go. Here's Neil Dutta of RenMac on Jay Powell.
Get going. That's what it seems. Go 50 with a promise to do as much as necessary to stabilize labor market conditions.
So the labor market, I guess it kind of falls into what you were just saying minutes ago. Not nearly as strong as people think it is.
No, I mean, the 3-month trend on non-farm private payrolls is running below 100,000. I mean, that's not a good number. That's barely break even. And I think it's arguably actually worse than that, because one of the reasons why the number even looked as good as it did is because we saw an uptick in construction employment. That's not going to last, because everything we know about construction right now is that units under construction are collapsing. So why are we hiring all these people to build what exactly? That implies a margin squeeze for builders, which I don't think they can tolerate right now. So this is all about the Fed trying to create a handoff from income-led growth to credit-led growth. That's what this is about. So they need to keep cutting until the credit-sensitive areas of the economy turn.
And Neil Dutta with comments before 8:30, and then you joined us afterwards with those comments about let's go. That seems to be the reigning idea. I don't have the math in front of me here. Friday, roughly 10 a.m. Eastern time, but I can certainly think that over the weekend the literature of 50 beeps, 25 beeps, and that will be important. But what's far more important to me is where is this Fed moving in November, in December, and into next year. Caution on the labor market comes from Claudia Sahm. She was heated today that she's not going to call a recession and all that, and the criticisms and the Sahm rule and the rest of it. But here's Claudia Sahm with the caution in the labor wind.
It's not headed in the right direction. This is the thing I'm most concerned about. Again, just, the numbers, like the numbers themselves, okay, fine. It's just things have been slowing and weakening, and not because I am, hair on fire that a recession's around the corner. Right. I'm really concerned that we're losing, slipping away of a really good labor market. And we need this as good as it gets. And there should be nothing weaker than what it takes to get inflation down. And we are, the train is still moving and is not in the right direction.
Claudia Sahm there, I'm sure there'll be much more on her through the weekend literature as well. Finally, and I really need to frame this out at Moody's. He is an institution. Mark Zandi was seminal and important in 2008, 2009. And it's almost, there's a guy, Friedrich Hayek, where you clear the market. And Zandi would say, look, we're going to clear our problems. We're going to clear our challenges and get to a better place. And he did that in the pandemic in January of 2020 and for the 12 months afterwards. This ugly medical crisis, we will clear it and move on. Mark Zandi today on where we are in the job economy, and particularly looking at the fact of a 4.x unemployment rate. Zandi of Moody's says it's not that bad.
Just look at the numbers. I mean, top 4.2% unemployment. I mean, okay, maybe be nicer if it were 4. I'm on board with that. I mean, it's maybe on the soft side of full employment. 4.2% unemployment. We're creating a lot of jobs across lots of different industries and have been for quite some time. Inflation, that's back in the bottle, almost no matter how you measure it. So we're growing at a potential. And by the way, here's the thing that's really, makes me encouraged. The economy's potential is very strong. I mean, we're seeing a lot of labor force growth. Well, that's the key reason why unemployment is notched higher here over the past year. That goes to immigration, and there's a lot of costs there, but the benefit obviously is the strong labor force growth. And look at those productivity growth numbers, and it's hard to argue that whether it's sustainable or not, but it feels like there's a lot of good things happening underneath. All the business formation we've been getting since the pandemic hit, it's probably reaping benefit, and this is all before AI kind of kicks in. So you add up all the productivity gains, you add in the labor force growth, and that's a strong, growing economy. And the trick for the Fed here is, let the economy take the foot off the brakes sufficiently to allow the economy to grow at its higher potential. That's a very different issue or problem if demand were evaporating. That's not what's going on here. So, objectively, take a step back. This economy is good.
Mark Zandi, with the crux of the matter, and that is productivity. One of the rules of productivity, I'm going to look at it as a 3:6 item of capital dynamics, labor dynamics, and this thing called total factor productivity, which is just this odd compendium of technological progress. And the answer is that is the great unknown. And certainly we've seen some optimism in productivity over the recent quarters. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast. Thank you for the notes today. People trying us out on this Jobs Day. On Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, I didn't realize the growth there. I was briefed actually this morning by one of the interns off of that. Really, really spectacular. Apple CarPlay, it is safer. It is better. They've got all new software out for it as well. And to our radio signals, Bloomberg 1130 in New York, 99.1 in Washington, 92.9 in Boston. We'll see you next week on Apple Podcasts. This is Single Best Idea.